y'all, it's me Alex. Today I'm super excited because I'm doing a little first impressions, get ready with me on a very old palette, or old in terms of the beauty community because everything moves way too fast around these parts. But I finally got the Melt Gemini palette. Well, Melt Cosmetics was having a little sale right around my graduation weekend, and it was just like, well, I don't get a real graduation, but I should get an eyeshadow palette. So, in case you haven't been on YouTube or the internet or looked at any makeup ever in your life, this is what the Gemini palette looks like. I was lusting after it for so long. But Melt is like really expensive. This palette got mixed reviews. I even tried to dupe the little like green side of the palette when it first came out, and that satisfied my cravings for a little while. But I still wanted it for like 2 years because this was released in like 2018, I think, and since I've wanted it for 2 years, I figured, wow, it's on sale for $40, so perhaps that might be the perfect opportunity for me to buy it. I also got a little lipstick from Melt too that I think would pair quite lovely with it. This is in the shade Mum, which is in fact the word. Yeah, I think today I'm just gonna do a little like chatty get ready with me first impressions on this. And yeah, so let me put on my eyeshadow primer and we're just gonna like hang out and play with makeup that I'm way behind the trend on. I have a little Starbucks strawberry acai drink that my roommate brought me today. I had to look up because I thought that that was like the same thing as like the pink drink that James Charles was always like raving about on his channel. This isn't like quite it, so just like consider me a less problematic James Charles. I was thinking of going for, you know, the green section of this palette, but that would be very predictable of me because obviously I'm a colorful person. So I opted to wear a burnt orange top and burnt orange headband for my look today. That way it would encourage me to go for the orangey mustardy neutral side of this palette, and encourage it shall. That was not coherent, but I'm keeping it in anyway. I'm thinking I might do a cute little bitty halo eye using some of these shades. Like, I'm especially feeling that little shade Gemini in this. Wow, imagine the Gemini palette having a shade called Gemini that looks really nice. Amazing, innovative, groundbreaking. So I think I want to do a little halo eye, like pop that in the middle and have it be super cute. So I'm gonna begin with Lorelei here, or Lorelei, I don't know. That's like the mom in Gilmore Girls, right? But I'm just gonna take that on a little BH Cosmetics blending brush, and that is pigmented. Hello Dolly. I'm just gonna do a little halo eye with this, build it up. I've watched about 1 million people's 3 looks 1 palettes with this palette. I went back and I watched Beat Beans, and then she did one recently that was like a 2 more looks with this palette. So her timing, impeccable. And then I also watched Julia Adams's 3 looks as well. That way I've gotten some inspiration, but now that I have it, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna do my own thing for my first try of this product. Yeah, so how y'all been? I know I just did a get ready with me last week too, but you know, we're here, we're queer, we're filled with existential fear. You know, the usual. I just sounded like a douchebag. I said the usual. What have y'all been watching? I actually started watching Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time literally ever. All of my friends in high school watched it. How did I avoid that in my childhood? I don't know, but it's fantastic. Like, everything. Amazing.
It's okay, y'all. I'm catching her up.
Case is also hanging out in the background, just like playing on their phone. We also have sugar gliders here with us too, but they're over there with Case. If they actually decide to be awake at 3:10 in the afternoon, which they rarely do because they're nocturnal little babies, I might show them on the camera. But now I think I'm gonna use polka dot here just to kind of deepen this up, like the outer and inner corner and all of that. I also feel like I'm working against the clock because it's been raining off and on all day, and I use natural lighting. I do have an umbrella light set that is under my bed at the moment. I kind of really don't want to have to figure that out just yet, since this is like the days are getting longer and there's going to be more light during the day. I would like to put off having to figure out my own lighting setup as long as humanly possible. I like that my lighting setup is basically just God deciding to light up my videos, so I don't have to figure that out for myself. I will have to bite the bullet one day. Today's not that day. These shades are just really pigmented. I do feel like I need to do a better job blending them out. I know this is also the first palette that Melt kind of ever made, and I know they did stacks before this, and I am kind of still interested in like a couple of the stacks, but the problem is like none of them appeal to me so much that I would spend Melt stacks kind of money on them. So I'm going to be satisfied with my current eyeshadow collection because I do have a lot in my eyeshadow collection already. I do not need to try justifying myself why I need more, and yet I constantly do. Because now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like cut the little halo part in my eye, and we're just gonna do a little halo eye. It'll be cute. I also, once again, I don't feel like I need to wear foundation today because I feel like my skin is looking super good. I say foundation very loosely because I don't even really use foundation, I use tinted moisturizer. But y'all know what I mean, y'all have watched me long enough probably. I mean, unless you're new here, in which case, hi, hello. But let me just try this whole halo eye thing. I've been trying to figure out, okay, how like I should shape my halo eye because I really like the way that Raw Beauty Christy does hers with like the very, very sharp up there part, but I don't know why I haven't quite been able to master that on my own eye. So this will look wonky until I learn how to do it properly. Now let me go in with that shade Gemini now, that nice little like light coppery shade. It looks like it'll be super cute. Oh crap, I accidentally dug into that way too much. I'm a menace. There is something deeply wrong with me. I'm gonna try and show y'all what happened. I can literally feel all of the eyeshadow that I just dug into this falling on my feet. I am a disaster.
You'll hit pan sooner.
I will hit pan sooner. This is not my goal for this palette. Ever just want a Project Pan palette that you just bought? This is how you do it. Well, it is looking kind of pretty. I am gonna like do some blending and shit, but I'm getting there now. I'm just like patting on the shade in the palette. That way I'm not like digging into it even more and destroying my soul even more. Well, this also isn't like in the center of my eye at all. Oh well. I don't know how to center things ever. I've talked to my therapist about that a lot, about the lack of centering that I have. Okay, let me try with more polka dot to like blend out that outer and inner portion and hopefully make this a little bit better. This eye looks pretty great. It's like normal. This eye. I put that out way too far. You know, this is not a failing on the palette's part at least. This is a failing on my part. So I'm not going to shame the quality of this palette at all because that is not what caused me to not be able to shape a halo eye correctly. And then I'm going to use a little bit, I think, of Cupcake here just to really, really deepen that up and make it extra halo-y. No, that's just like a line in there, so that's great. One day I'll be worthy of being of the title of Beauty Guru. I'm not sure if today's that day. I'm probably also just over-caffeinated, which would explain a lot about why I think that that is like even-ish. I am gonna use a little bit of Cupcake to really define that halo, because I think that might also make this look a little bit more professional. Like someone actually qualified is doing this. See? Qualified eye, unqualified eye. Qualified eye, unqualified eye. I think my main problem with like cut creases and halo eyes is I'm never entirely sure where the crease and stuff is actually going to end up getting cut, you know, so I never actually blend up the darker eyeshadow like up far enough. So I think I just need to be better at planning or something. Now I'm going to take my chalky brush and I'm going to use Lorelei again, or Lorelei. I still don't know how to pronounce that shadow. Anyway, we're going to take that along the lower lash line. And since I don't really conceal my under eyes anymore, I'm just going to take the shadow low enough that I'm just going to enhance my sleep deprivation and use that to my advantage to look extra grungy. And yeah, I was gonna say like grungy and something, but then I couldn't think of another adjective to describe me. I do think that this is very like flattering on my eyes, and I really like the colors a whole lot. It's just the one shape that I decided to do for my first impressions did not accurately reflect the quality of this palette, I suppose. But I do think that these shades seem to be very well curated so that they will blend on each other quite well. So I think that that is a good part of this palette. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Oh yeah, I just saw the launch video for the new e.l.f. and Acai collaboration, and obviously you'll know that I really love the one that she did last year. And from this one, I'm also absolutely going to be picking it up because I was like, oh, I don't need to buy any more makeup. And then I saw that and I was like, I need to buy more makeup, which is problematic. That's who y'all come here for, right? Is it okay if I buy it?
You don't have to ask me, though.
I'm like, I need outside validation that my purchasing habits are okay.
You don't get a lot for yourself. You can get something nice every now and then.
Thanks. Besides, this is cheap-ish. It's more expensive than other e.l.f. things, but the proceeds are going to help pit bulls in need. And also, just like, the launch video had me going insane because this was just so beautiful. Like, I've been thinking about trying to find myself a good rainbow palette for the absolute longest time. I almost impulse bought the Be Perfect Stacey Marie Carnival XL Pro Super Soaker 5000 Atomic Bomb 25 million palette because Robert Welsh really liked it. I don't own any rainbow palettes and I've been trying to find a good rainbow one. And then I was like, okay, that costs like a lot of dollars. And I wasn't entirely a fan of the way that everything was lined up. I'm using my Milk Makeup Flex highlighter in Iced for my inner corner just because I want something a little bit lighter than what's on my lid. I was looking at that because Robert Welsh really liked it. I'm sure the formula is amazing, but I really wasn't a fan of the way it was laid out, and if I'm gonna drop that kind of money on a palette, I would like for it to be perfect. So I opted to not get that. So I was just kind of like, okay, my search for the perfect rainbow palette in my life continues. And also all of the color just changed in this when I got up, so hopefully it'll return to normal. But it's like, okay, I'll wait until I find like the absolute perfect rainbow palette. That way I'm not like going out and around and trying a whole bunch of different things that are like close but not quite, you know? And then I saw that Acai was releasing something with e.l.f. and I watched the launch video for it today and I was like, oh, so it's like a perfect rainbow palette named after dogs that she and her family and friends have adopted, and also named for pit bulls in an animal shelter that are looking to get adopted. And then there's like liquid glitter shadows and a set of like perfect eye brushes because I always need more eye brushes because I don't like washing my brushes. And they're like doing good things for charity. Okay, you have all of my dollars and I have none of my cents, but I am 1000% here for this collaboration, especially because I really love the one that she did with them last year. I still have just about everything from it. I can't find the eyeliner pencil from that for the life of me, which is really sad because it was a really good eyeliner pencil. So I'm really excited. I am absolutely getting it on launch date. And I know that y'all probably aren't super excited because y'all are probably sick of rainbow palettes. I've just never found my perfect one, and I love the way it is laid out, and I really think that e.l.f. have upped their eyeshadow game in the last few years. And since between all of that and the fact that it's going to a good cause, I'm very excited for that. Okay, so now my eyes are basically done. I think I will actually put on a little bit of tinted moisturizer today just to really like complete this look, I think. So I'm just going to use a little bit of my NYX Bear With Me Tinted Skin Veil and kind of see how that goes. I feel like I'm always so aggressive when I apply my tinted moisturizer. I don't know if y'all can hear the sponge bouncing on camera, but I'm just like, I am pushing this onto my face. I'm punching myself in the face with the sponge, which is aggressive. Yeah, this palette is also what's keeping me from buying the 420 palette. Also because my board of ordination might find it questionable if I bought a palette called 420, but we're not talking about that too terribly much. I really like the tones of that one too, and it looks like a brighter yellowy chartreusey version of the Gemini palette. So I'm trying to convince myself that I don't need it. I'm gonna do another duping the vibes of that palette hopefully later this week. So that way, you know, we can all just convince ourselves we don't need things. But Melt does a whole bunch of, I think, like two-toned like green and neutral palettes, which I really like because I love green eyeshadow so much. They basically do different versions of the same palette over and over, I kind of feel. My problem with that is I still want them all. I also like matching my highlighter to my inner corner, so I'm using the Milk Flex highlight in Iced as my face highlight today. I think for my blush, I'm just going to use this little Milani Baked blush in Rose d'Oro because this one is so subtle, but I feel like I need a little bit of like subtle color on my cheeks to really just like blend between the blush, the highlight and the bronzer. That's a little bit more blushy than I had anticipated. So speaking of YouTubers I've watched a lot of recently, I was watching Snitchery's video on like different lipstick shapes, and I kind of want to try her like Bratz doll lip effect type thing. Don't really have any lip liner, so this might go very poorly. I really don't have any plans for the rest of the day, and my Animal Crossing characters can't see me, so I think that if I mess this up I will be fine. What she did was she like put concealer on like the outer corners of her lips and then like use that to make your lips a little bit fuller. I don't particularly feel the need to change my lip shape or anything, but I do really like trying new makeup techniques. So first of all, I feel like I need to blend this part just a little bit more. Because I feel like that might have gone a little too low. I don't know. Wow, that eyeshadow that I broke is all over my legs.
Which one did you break?
It's not like broken, but it's the little coppery one.
I can't tell from, well, I can very much tell from here, but
thanks.
Fine.
Thanks. No, it's just that I decided to wear black jeans today, so that's gonna be fun to clean up. But she like took a little bit of concealer and put it on the outer corners of her mouth. And wow, that's gonna taste real weird. I'm just gonna see what I can do. First of all, this concealer is way too light. I don't know why I ever bought this color. This is so full coverage. Why in God's name did I ever buy something so full coverage? What was I thinking? But then she like put lipstick like in the center part and maybe like brought it up a little bit more. I don't know, I'm a little afraid of this. So, she definitely used a lip liner, which I definitely don't own. Okay. Because I'm not going all the way up. But by the way, this lipstick formula, that's super good. I like this formula a lot. It feels very good. It's like nice and matte, and I feel like I could wear bold color in this formula without it like going everywhere. And then she kind of like did the overdrawing of the lips a little bit. Okay, this is slightly different on my lips, so that's fun. I don't mind this lip shape. Like, I think it would be easier if I did this with a little bit of a lip liner instead of trying to do it with a lipstick. But I feel like it's pretty cute. I feel like it's missing a little something up here, so I'm gonna fix that real quick. Yeah, you have cute little Bratz doll lips. I kind of like this. This is something that I wouldn't not do again. So yeah, first impressions on this palette. I feel like it performs very well. It was definitely a little bit of work for me to use, but I think that's more because of my own makeup skills and the fact that I am currently trying to perfect my own sort of halo eye look. Not entirely quite there yet, but that's okay. So yeah, I think that is it for this little first impressions get ready with me with the Melt Gemini palette. Let me know your thoughts on this down below, and anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe down below if you want to see more videos from me, and I will see y'all in my next one. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Bye!